Hello, my name is Gemma. I am an advanced occultist and I am a criminologist and a mother of two. And in this one, I want to talk about sort of like my downloads, how I've come to these sort of situations and underpinnings. What I want to talk about is that I've studied occultism since 2020, and it was because I got really down and low, and I was looking for something to keep me going, and I ended up, because I've got a ninth house wound, Chiron, so I had issues with supposedly travel, education, higher education, spirituality, religion. So a lot of issues there around, ninth house matters. But I worked through them, I was travelling when I was really little, like long distances. And we also, did education. I went and did education. I passed all my assignments and stuff like that. I got a degree in criminology, Check my Facebook. It says it on there. I got a degree in criminology, So I did all these things, which I'm proud of myself for. And then I became a mum. Right, so let's go we're back. So, something happened, and I never understood what it meant until later on in my years. But I had an experience where I was cleaning myself up. I was passing blood. It was that time of the month. Let's not be ashamed now, it's normal stuff, right? And a stone fell out of me. It was about that big, and it was about that wide. And I passed a stone. And I was like, what is this? And it was like, it had like skin on it. It was perfect. Like, it didn't have any ridges on it or anything like that. It was just a stone. It had like skin on it. It was a stone. I was just like, what is that? Okay? I was like, what is that? What in the heavens is this? And so I didn't think anything of it. I didn't tell anyone. I thought they'd just laugh at me if I told anyone. So I just left it and I didn't tell anyone. But I'm telling you like now. It's funny. Because it sounds like if I didn't read the occults and stuff, I probably would never have said anything. So this has something to do with the Holy Grail, Arthurian legends, and has something to do with Britain, which I'm in the UK, and it has something to do with, I just read it, I can't remember. It has something to do with a woman. She's meant to be the Grail. And I think the Kingfisher stole her and put her in his custody, which is actually bad and shouldn't happen. Just watching the ocean. What a coincidence, right? So the Kingfisher's meant to have a, this woman in their custody and all this, which I think's taken away her freedoms and her personal right to freedom. So it's almost like he's taken away her human rights. So as we can understand it now and underpin it now, he caught the fish and now he's taken away her human rights, okay? This is how you can underpin it in an aspect of understanding, contemporary society. If I was to bring in the occult topics, understand this now. And, alright, so let's get back into this stone that dropped out of me. And I had no idea. And I'm not really going to tell you where or when or why or what, because it's none of your business. All I'm going to say is, it was about that big. Okay? So I was like, right, what does this mean? Well, it's meant to be a cup. It kind of fell out of a cup concept. You know, they do say it's a cup concept. And then they say it's a dish as well. But I was like getting these downloads. I don't really have downloads much, but I only had this one download and I was just like, something, right, yeah, what's this? Like, it just said like crown gemma. Just kept getting this. Weren't like, it was just intuitive. It was like crown gemma crown. So I was like, typed it in, I googled it. It's funny because, you know, Google, they've made a crown, they've made that concept as well on Google. They've created a program software called Gemma. Ooh. And which is interesting, isn't it? So anyway, I googled it and it came up, Gemma crown. I was like, okay, so what is this? And it told you a story about how two men hurt her. She got left on an island. I was like, wow. And the trickster spirit was all there and all that lot, and she just absolutely got mauled and left. Don't know what they talk. Do you know what they talk? Anyway, I don't think they realised the mission. So anyway, in this one, it's almost like the Holy Grail concept, which is moi, it's me. And I was like, right, my name's on the crown, yeah. So what have I got to do? So it's like a theory of the crown concept. So I had to figure out how to be happy after everything's been took from me. That's basically kind of like what's going on. So it was like I had to figure out how to make this make sense. And it's an I know energy. It's I know I am safe now. I know it is over. I'm not watching this ocean anymore. It's putting me off talking. Should we go to Italy? I'm going to Italy. So, in this, really, the idea of this is that obviously I don't really have spiritual experiences that are significant because I've got a ninth house wound, you see. So I don't believe in all my spiritual experiences because I can see how it can be an inversion and it's not always true. So you might get mixed up stuff, like it might be for someone else, it might be for you, you might get downers, it might be someone else. So this is how I can understand and underpin like sort of like an intuitive feeling over anything else, right? So I never believed in all that stuff. I'm a very logic woman, especially when it comes to stuff like spiritual stuff, because I always had a wound there. So I was just like, I don't really trust this type thing, you know? And it comes up, you know, other people are stronger in those areas, but I'm not. But I typed in crown theory and it said that, so I figured it out that I had to do something, and it looked like a dish as well. So if you turn it into a halo, that's a crown anyway, a crown is a ring, but because we call it a ring as well. But you call it a halo concept, right? So this is how I underpin the theory of the crown. I haven't finished it yet, but this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing as well. So it's really about finding that peace, innocence, justice, equality. That's what the I know energies is all about. It is about that. It's about rising to that energy. So if you can understand that underpinning, that is so easy as well to sort of get to grips with, when you understand that my downloads were really out there, that it really brought in an aspect of what I was going to do now for my work. And, you know, probably should really coin it and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm not really going to get any academic acknowledgement for it like that. So maybe I have to write a book instead. So I might write a book if I'm still alive in a couple of years. So, because I don't think they want me to be here. You know? It's sad. I don't think they want me to be here. I don't think they do. Right? And I don't know why. Might be because a stone fell out of me, you know. Might have something to do with the kingfisher. The analogy. You can use it all as analogies. Because I'm a very logical person. The only thing that isn't logic is a stone that fell out of me. So how is that logic? It defies all aspects of logic. Unless we're like programmable beings. Right? And you got to think, how can we understand programmable beings? Well, it's like we're a telly or something, we get downloads. That's the only way I can explain it. And so how can you understand this? Well, you push your eyes in your head. People say, don't do that, don't do that. Push your eyes in your head for a second. Right? And then you start to see the digital. It's there. It's right there. It's white and black. That's what I see anyway. Now it's going white. Now there's loads of different colours. Honestly, I can see it. I think everybody can, can't they, if they push their eyes in their head? You start to see like a digital world. That's how they made tellies. That's how it started. So now they did the dimensions as well. I was just like, what is this information that I'm getting? And it kind of started with just simple things like this. It must be my destiny. What's going on right now? Because Kingfish said so, you know, it's written in the stars and all that. Million miles away. I wonder how much you got paid to do this to me. Is this how you treat your national treasure? If you're all occultists out there, and you're watching this, the stone, the Grail concept, this is an Arthurian legend. I think I said about this, I'm not sure. I had to do this again. I kept laughing. But this one's like, we have to understand that, like, what is going on here? Because I'm a very logical woman. And, you know, I'm not into all this stuff. And I didn't want to be into all this stuff. You know, I like my religion. I like underpinnings of Jewish doctrine, Judea and all that stuff. Not Judea, but like Jewish doctrines, and I like that, you know. I like what it brings to learn. I like the Kabbalah. I like things like that. So it kind of breaches onto occultism because it's like an occult topic, isn't it? And a cult is an occult, which becomes a religion in the end if it gets that big. It becomes a way of life. So why? Why treat a grail like that? What does a grail hold? Healing, natural gifts. The heart of the world to regenerate. Like the Northern Lights concept. So why would you want to destroy that? Why do you want to wreck it? Why is that? Why try and oversee